Hello and good evening, everyone. Welcome to my live stream about interview with the US Hallo Teacher Jeff. Dear viewers, can you please confirm you can hear me and see the video? Oh, Teacher Jeff is here already. That's amazing.
Hello,
Hi.
Rahat.
Hello, Teacher Jeff. I'm very happy to get you.
I'm happy to be here. Can you see me or no?
No, it looks like only your display
Oh,
photo.
wait a second. Wait a second. Let me fix that.
All right, no worries.
If I can-
In the meantime, let me acknowledge and welcome all the people. Hello, Joe. Welcome, Sophia. Welcome, Asma. Welcome. Thanks for the confirmation that you can hear me and see the video. Okay, so once again, guys, it's Sunday night here in the UK, and our UK time is 8:57 p.m., which is the GMT. And we've got a very amazing guest speaker, Teacher Jay, who is a US Hello Teacher, who joined on this app recently. So we're going to talk to him about many things. So get ready, everyone. Yahoo!
Yes. Rahat, should I try with my phone instead?
It's after you, Teacher Jeff, whichever is suitable for you. Because if you want to show your face, that's it's better for our
Yeah,
our.
sure. I would like to. I'm trying to get on with my phone right now. See if I can do that. Am I pronouncing your name right, Rahat? Is it Rahat?
Yeah, that's fine, Teacher Jeff. That's all right.
Okay.
Okay, so Teacher Jeff would be back in a moment, guys. In the meantime, welcome Ziomi, Janat, Kita, Parvej, Sophia, and all the lovely people. Thanks for joining. I meant to start a bit earlier, Teacher Jeff, because I got a call, so I finished the call so that I don't miss the time. Okay, so dear viewers, thank you very much for joining once again. It's really my pleasure to meet new people who haven't seen me before. So, people who are new here today, this is RahatAli. I'm a part time TEFL certified Hello teacher from England. I teach English grammar, spoken English, IELTS classes, as well as basic British IPA. You know, uh, and every week, as a part of my ongoing live stream, I interview with our fellow Hello teachers and talk to them, and also like to know about their lifestyle, how they become teachers, their experience, their suggestions and advice. And lots of our, learners join my live stream to talk and ask many questions. That's really amazing. Okay. Hi, Elena. Welcome. Levan. Welcome. Salman. Welcome. I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. How about you, dear viewers? How are you all doing today? Sophia says you don't need any introduction. No, still, I feel that maybe one or two person may be new in my live stream who can ask me. I'd like to know a little bit more about you. Okay, thank you very much once again, dear viewers. I think Teacher Jeff is back. So I'm trying to add Teacher Jeff. Let me see if I'm successful or not.
All right.
Hey, you're back, Teacher Jeff. Oh, your phone is upside down.
Okay. Hang on one second. Let me. Sorry about that.
Yeah, now it's better.
Better?
That's
Okay. Good, good. How are you? Good to be here. Thank you for having me.
I am fantastic, Teacher Jeff, and I'm very happy to get you too. And before we start the live stream, I'd like to ask you one very important question. How much time have you got for us?
I, I've got probably 45 minutes, whatever.
Oh, that's fine. We expect that an hour is all right. Okay. Because when we start speaking, we don't know how the time goes, how time flies quickly.
Right.
All right. So, Teacher Jeff, welcome once again. Let me inform you this type of live stream is one of the unique ideas which I started from the beginning of this year, February, and
Oh,
everyone so appreciated, and many teachers came to my live stream. So I invited those teachers who joined at the beginning of the Hallo App, that is March 2020, when the Hallo App started. And I invited all of them. Now I'm inviting all the new teachers, and it's my pleasure to get you today once again.
Oh, thank you. It's my pleasure to be here. I'm so happy.
Okay, so Teacher Jeff, we like to start from very basic information like where are you from and your primary school. Maybe you can describe a little bit secondary school and your education and what you're doing currently.
Sure. I live in Clearwater, Florida in the United States, and I have lived here on and off most of my life. I'm originally from upstate New York, up in the cold, but since I was 10 years old, I have lived in Florida. I also spent 2 years traveling and teaching throughout Central and South America, and I lived in China for a year and taught English in China as well.
Wow, you've got very good international experience. So we like to hear more. So now the very basic question which I always ask, uh, what is the name of your primary school?
When I was like in elementary school or in
Yeah, the first school
I,
was it elementary school? We call it
I started,
primary school in the UK. I'm sorry.
yes, no, that's okay. Yeah, I started out it was called Belcher Elementary School, and it's actually only 2 miles from the house where I live now.
And do you remember who was your first friend in that school?
Michael Goldstone. I do remember.
Wow, that seems to be a royal name, Michael Goldstone.
Yeah,
Do you have still contact with him?
I don't. I lost contact with him, unfortunately, probably about 10 years ago about 12 years ago, I moved to China, and I just was so busy when I was in China. I lost touch with some people, and I just never got back in touch with him. I probably should try and find him and reach out to him.
So, how many years you spent in China?
A little, like almost a year and a half, about a year and a half.
Okay, why did you leave then, Teacher Jeff?
My contract was up, and I was actually 3 months before I moved there.
Mm-hmm.
I met my now wife in Florida, and I left to go to China. And after that year and a half, my contract was up, and I had to make a decision to stay or come back and be with my girlfriend. And I came back.
Oh, that's great. So, you live in Florida at the moment, don't you?
Yes, I live in Florida at the moment, and I've also lived in Guatemala, Costa Rica, and Peru.
Oh, that's great. We like to hear a little bit more about that. So, after the elementary school, please tell us, did you have to go to the secondary school or primary school?
I went to high school.
High school.
I apologize. I did go to secondary school. It was called Oak Grove Middle School, and I went to sixth grade, seventh grade, and eighth grade there.
And after that?
After that, I went to high school. I went to high school at a place called Pinellas Park High School. And all the primary, the secondary, and the high school were all here in Florida.
Okay, now I'm coming back to your high school. So when you're in high school, now it's a teenage. Do you remember who was your first friend, both boy and girl?
Wow. I can remember my first friend that was a boy, and his name was Peter, and I am still friends with him. I cannot think of the first friend that was a girl. I can't, girlfriend, but not a girl who was a friend.
Okay, so now I got you, Teacher Jeff. Did the girl propose you first or you proposed her?
I proposed to my wife.
Uh-huh.
I proposed to her. We had both been married before, and we had been dating for 7 years.
Wow.
And on Christmas Eve, I did a treasure hunt for her, and the last part of the treasure hunt was me on my knee asking her to marry me. So
That's pretty cool. Teacher Jeff, do you also write stories?
Like what kind of like fiction stories?
No, your real life story is how you fell into love and proposed her.
You know, when I was traveling, I was 45 years old and I had never traveled anywhere. And I had a big job with a corporation for 20 years. And I decided I've never done anything. So I quit my job. I sold my condominium, I sold my car, and I just left the country for 2 years. And during that 2 years, I did keep a journal of almost every day. I would write all of the interesting and fun and scary and all the experiences that I had while I was traveling.
So was it only in China or those countries like Guatemala and other countries?
Guatemala and Peru. And in Peru, I actually volunteered in a prison.
Oh.
And the women that lived in the prison, if they went to prison and they had a child who was 5 years old or
Mhm.
younger, they took the child with them to live in the prison. So we taught them better ways to take care of their children, hygiene, how to cook the little foods that they did have, and then we would take their children out of the prison so they could experience some real life activities. We would take them to the zoo or other fun places where they never got to go because they actually lived in the prison cells with their mom until they were 5.
Okay. Teacher Jeff, is it okay if I take a photo? We'll post it later.
Sure, sure.
Smile. Great. So we'll come back to Peru once again. So after finishing your high school, did you go to university or what's the?
I I did. I was at the time I was an artist and I went to a place called the Ringling School of Art and Design and I was an illustrator and a graphic designer.
Okay. So at the moment, what's your main profession?
At the moment now, what is my profession?
Mm-hmm.
I am teaching online for another company that is coming to an end. You probably know which one. And I am teaching for Hallo. And I have another job 50% of the time. I am a personal trainer. I actually lost over 100 pounds myself, and I wanted to help other people get in better shape too. So 50% of the time I'm a teacher, and 50% of the time I'm a personal trainer at a large facility here in Florida.
Oh, that's really cool.
And my main profession, I just quit my lifetime profession, which I was a paralegal. I worked for law offices for 35 years.
Oh,
And when I started to teach and do personal training, I wanted to work for myself. So 5 weeks ago, I finally quit that job that I had for, off and on for almost 35 years
okay. Mm-hmm.
because I love to teach.
You love teaching. That's great.
I do.
Okay,
do.
so Teacher Jeff, you mentioned that you went to China, that Peru and Guatemala. Did you visit those countries before going to the China?
I did. I did. China was my last place. I was there for about a year and a half. Yeah. So I went to Guatemala and then I went to Costa Rica and then I went to Peru and I came home for 3 months
Mm-hmm.
and I met my current now wife. And then I left for a year and a half and went to China.
Okay, and when did you come back from China?
In 2010,
Okay,
in late 2010.
so you have been on this profession after 2010, teaching, training,
And
and
I've been doing legal work
as
as
in.
I was legal work as well. And then a couple years ago, I had an opportunity to teach children in China virtually with a company. So I took that job and I've been doing that. And now that is coming to an end. So
Mhm.
I am teaching with Hollow and possibly looking into another company as well to teach children.
Okay, that's great. So wishing your best luck, Teacher Jeff. Dear viewers, please keep commenting. We're going to read your comments after a while because we're having a little bit conversation with our guest speaker, Teacher Jeff. So, Teacher Jeff has visited, is it 4 countries up to now?
Yes, correct.
So, if you compare the culture like Guatemala, Peru, and China, and the USA, how do you find the cultural shock or difference of these countries?
Oh, very different, very different. Obviously, America is a first world country. I found Guatemala both, I enjoyed it, but I also felt, I guess compassion is the word. It was amazing to me how many people had so little, but they were so happy, Rahat. They were so joyful in their life, even though they had so little. And that was really eye-opening for me.
Okay. We'll come back again. I'm just going on and off, from your childhood up to now. So, when you were a child, what was your desire that you would be when you grow up?
I wanted to be a professional golfer, believe it or not.
Okay. And why did you quit that thought?
I played all through high school. My brother was actually a professional golfer, and he played professionally, and I made it up through high school, and I did well, but I just wasn't quite the material to make it on the professional tour. So I just didn't quite get there.
Okay. Um, do you remember any sad story from your childhood? Still, it makes you upset or sad?
Hmm, a sad story from my childhood. Um, when I was 8 years old, I was in a small, like a house behind a house, like a almost like a playroom for children.
Hmm.
And for some reason, there was some type of flammable liquid in there, and somehow a fire got started, and probably 70% of my body was on fire, and
Oh,
I was burned very badly. And it's still, I mean, it was, many years ago, was probably 45, 46, 7 years ago. But when if it comes up, or I still, it was very painful to get through. They did not think I would have use of my arms and my legs, but so it was definitely a painful memory. But
wa-
yeah, that's one that I still remember.
was it in Florida, your house?
It was in up in the mountains. It was up in New York, in upstate New York,
Oh, New York. Okay.
during
So,
summer.
so why did you move from New York to Florida then?
When I was 10 years old, we moved here.
Okay. Really, it's a painful story, and thanks to God that He saved you and you're safe. And
Yes, sure.
do you have any funny stories from the childhood that makes you laugh?
Oh, funny stories.
It,
Wow.
it could be with a girl, it could be a proposal of a girl, or maybe you like someone, you fancied someone, and the girl always ignored you, and you tried to take the revenge on girl.
Wow, I can't think of any. Oh, I can think of one funny story. I am allergic to tree nuts like pecans and walnuts and things like that. And I was at a very big gathering of, I was probably in grade 6, and I was at a big gathering of all these students, and they had cake, and I looked at the cake, and it did not look like there were any nuts in it, and I ate the nuts, and all of the sudden this girl turned around and she said, "Oh my gosh, what's wrong with him?" And I had broken out in hives all over my body. So that was a funny and embarrassing story from my childhood.
I see. So from the time, do you carry any adrenaline injection with you?
I don't. It's not an allergy that's deadly or one where I would need to go to the hospital. If I happen to eat something and it gives me hives, I just put cortisone on. But when it happened, it was during the summer, and I had no shirt. We were at a place where we were at a beach, and I had no shirt on, and I had shorts on, and I just had red hives everywhere.
So you remember that you used cortisone, the steroid medication.
Yes, yes.
Great. Okay, so dear viewers, we're having conversation with the US Hallo Teacher Jeff. And if you have any questions now, you can ask in the commentary section. I'm sure he's going to read as well as me. Now, Teacher Jeff, what's your specialty as a teacher? In which, in another way, what are your strengths of a teacher? Being a teacher, what are your strengths?
I would say my strengths, or at least most of my students tell me that I am very patient. I think my patience and understanding, having lived in those other countries and attempting to learn those languages myself, especially Chinese, was so very difficult, and I was afraid to try at first. And so I think I have compassion for adults and people who are trying to learn trying to learn English, because I understand it's hard. Just like it was so hard in China, the word for buy and the word for sell are the exact same word, just said with a different inflection. So I understand how difficult it is to learn all the small nuances and differences of a new language. So I think compassion and patience would be my strengths as a teacher.
Okay, so let me ask you some personal questions. That's not very serious, like the other personal questions. So, what's your favorite color, Teacher Jeff?
Ooh, my favorite color is blue.
I can see that. Okay, did you ever feel blue?
I have felt blue before. I have, haven't you?
Yeah, I do very often when I see and everything's going beyond my expectation. I'm always blue, but I'm passionate like you.
Yeah.
Okay, and what's your favorite food?
My favorite food is anything that involves, gosh, I would have to say it's two. It's either bread, any type of bread, or any type of sweet. Back from my days when I was 100 pounds heavier, I mean, most of my diet back then consisted of sweet foods, cookies and Danish and all kinds of bread. Those are my favorite foods to eat, but I don't eat them much anymore, but they are my favorite foods to eat.
So, Teacher Jeff, now I've got a funny question. Did ever any girl said, "Hey Jeff, would you like to have some candy?"
You know, until I was in my 20s, most girls wouldn't talk to me because I was, like I said, I was very obese. It was tough. It was tough growing up as an obese child, for sure. Kids can be very mean, as I'm sure you're aware at times.
Okay, but all right, I understand that. Okay, so do you know how to cook by any chance, Teacher Jeff?
I I do all the cooking in my household. I usually cook for 2 weeks at a time. I make
Oh, that's great.
meals and I freeze them and I package them, and yeah, I love to cook, and I love to cook to try things from other countries. So I do love food, and when I was in China, I tried many, and the other countries as well, many different kinds of food. I'm always willing to try something, but I can't promise I will like it.
Okay, so up to now you have visited only 4 countries, right?
Yeah, I have been to Prague in Europe. I've been to Prague. But I did not volunteer there or teach there. It was just simply vacation.
Have you?
Um,
Okay, have you ever been to England?
I have not. I would love to go to England. I
Yeah,
have not been.
I'd like to invite you, Teacher Jeff. Please.
Oh, that would be great. I would definitely love to come over to England for sure. Where in England are you, Rahat?
I'm just next to East London border, the county called Essex.
Oh yeah, I've heard of, but yeah, okay.
Okay, that's great.
I would,
Can you hear me, Teacher Jeff?
yeah, yes, I can.
Okay, so I lost you for a few seconds, I think.
Uh,
All right. Okay, so how many languages can you speak?
I speak English and I still remember a little bit of Spanish, but when I went to China, I spent so much time trying to learn Chinese that I lost most of my Spanish, but I still understand. I can understand when people are speaking what they are saying, but I can't still make the conjugations, and I can't, my Spanish is not great. I could get by, and my Chinese is good enough that I could still go back to China and I could survive. It's nowhere near fluent, but I can speak enough that I could buy food, get a taxi, get around, but just a little bit. So not not too many other languages.
Okay, so would you like to give us a demonstration, one sentence, like, "Hey, how are you doing today?" in Chinese
Uh,
and Spanish?
um, in Spanish, I can do it I'll do it in Chinese. 我会说一点点中文，我的发音不好. I said I speak a little bit of Chinese, but my pronunciation is very bad.
And how about in Spanish?
uh, I don't even know why. Hola, ¿cómo está?
Muy
But
bien,
not
gracias.
right. There's not much left of the Spanish after the Chinese.
Okay. All right, Teacher Jeff, that's really cool. Now I'm coming back to your teaching as a teaching profession. So when did you decide to be a teacher?
Um, when I was traveling in Peru, in my last the last country where I volunteered, one of the gentlemen that was there with me was a professor from Harvard University, and he told me about a program through Harvard that he said, if you have a bachelor's degree, I can get you a job through Harvard teaching and living in China. Would you be interested? And I thought, I've really enjoyed this last, year or so of traveling, and I'm not ready to stop meeting new people and learning new culture. And, so I said, sure, I will try to apply for that. And it was a long application process I had to have many letters of recommendation, but that was what got me interested at the start. And that was in late 2008, early 2009.
Okay, so you stayed China around 18 months, is it, or 13?
Yes. Yeah, about 18 months. Right.
Okay, so how was your experience there? Like, likewise, food, culture.
It
Uh,
was it was amazing. I really didn't have too many negatives at all about it. They loved Americans. I mean, they treated us like we were movie stars. We were at an amusement park, and people actually stood in line, maybe 30, 40, 50 people just to take pictures with us. Um, and it was very, very interesting. The food was in the region I lived, the food was very spicy.
which
So
which region, may I ask you, Teacher Jeff?
what's that?
What's the name of the region? Which region it was?
Oh, not the Hunan province. It was in the south of China, and the food was very, very spicy. So that was something different for me. But I did try many different foods. I tried the foods that they served me. I tried snake. I tried donkey. I have a dog. I love dogs, but I even tried dog, and it tastes like steak. But so I tried all of the different kinds of foods they had. Some I liked, some I did not. Um, but the culture itself, and traveling to Hong Kong, and I also traveled to Thailand, which I loved. I spent my winter break from teaching. I spent 6 weeks in Thailand, which I really, really enjoyed, and the food was amazing there as well.
That's really cool. So you have just mentioned that you've got pets like dog. How many dogs have you got?
I have one dog and I have a cat, and my wife has a ferret.
Oh, that's really cool.
So I'm not the ferret's a little different. I had never had something like that before. Actually, I'll show you a good picture here, right here of my dog. Yeah,
What's the name of your dog and cat and ferret?
is Cooper. I don't know if you can see him, but this is my dog. His name is Cooper.
Yeah, I can see him. He's a brownish white color.
Right. He's a Boston Terrier.
Okay, that's great. And what's the name of the cat?
Callie, because she is a calico cat.
And how about the ferret?
Cody. So they all have C names.
What's the reason of choosing C?
I don't know what started that. Maybe because my wife, she is Christina. So
I see. Is she from Florida as well?
she is from Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. Oh, okay. That's
Have you
great.
been to America? I'm sure you
No, I have never been to America yet. America, Canada, Australia, New Zealand. Still have got
Oh, I would
plans to visit there.
always wanted to go to New Zealand. Okay.
All right. Okay. There are some question I can see from the comment section, Teacher Jeff.
Okay. Yeah, I
Uh,
caught them on my phone, but I'm willing to answer. Oh, let's see. I see. What's your favorite food? My
uh,
favorite food is Danish and sweets and bread. What other? I'm trying to see if I see other questions.
and Fatty has a question: how to develop the reading, writing, listening skill or habit of English language?
I found a lot of my students when I lived in China, they would watch American TV with subtitles of whatever their language was so they could learn the words. I mean, I think just practice is one of the best things. Find a great teacher like Rahat and then practice what you learn. Practice, I think, is just repetitive speaking and learning and listening to native speakers so that you can get the pronunciation. That's I think probably the best thing I could get advice I could give on that.
Okay, thank you very much. So, Teacher Jeff, let's come back to this question again. Uh, I, 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 I heard that you said you like reading a lot, right?
Well,
Last time, and second to our interview with the US Hallo Teacher Jeff. He's from the United States of America, and I'm your host. I'm another teacher, and I teach English grammar. I spoke and since that time I've been looking. Oh, teacher. who else has joined. Hello, Teacher Riza, Fatih. I can see Kogor, Kurdish people. Kogor, we know Kurdistan is a part of Iraq. Kidres, Ibrahim, Ziomi, Nadim, Jara, Fatih, Amdi Asifu. Okay, I need to send him a message to rejoin. All right, so Xiaomi, Kidres, Fatih, and all the lovely people, thank you very much for joining. Let me wait for the teacher Jeff, who might be joining us in no time. No, I don't speak Spanish, no, unfortunately, no. I wish I could learn and speak in all the languages, you know. Hi, teacher Riza again. Thank you very much for coming here. Hello, Angie. Hello, Kidres. Yeah, teacher Jeff, I've sent him a message, honestly, teacher Riza, so that he can come and rejoin. I can see and hear him, honestly. Um, no, I don't see teacher Jeff on my screen, honestly. Teacher Riza, Erin, I think he's coming back. Yahoo! Welcome back.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
That's okay. That's a technical glitch, you know, it happens very often. So teacher Jeff is back, dear everyone. So let's move on with our conversation. I was asking teacher Jeff, you know, teacher is, I know he's another American teacher from the US, you know, Hallo Teacher. She's
He's an
asking, yeah, she's asking, she would like to see Christina, Cody, Kelly, and cookies.
and cookies.
Cookies. Do you have cookies, teacher Jeff? I like to have it and munch and crunch.
I wish. Here's my wife Christina.
Hey, Christina Aguilera, the greatest singer.
Oh,
Nice to meet you, Christina.
thank you.
That's great. Okay, so welcome back again, teacher Jeff. Let's move on. Okay.
Hey,
All right. So we are now in the middle of the our conversation. So you decided to join as a teacher because that guy from the Harvard University motivated you.
yes.
Okay. And how do you know about the Hallo app? Now we're coming back to Hallo.
I know because teacher Casey and teacher Riza had a YouTube video, and the company that I was working for before was about to be shut down through China. And I watched their video on Hollow, and then I just applied. This was maybe just it's only been a couple months, so.
Good. Do you remember when you were selected as a Hello Teacher? When was your first live stream you made from here? Which date it was?
I wanna say it was like September, maybe September 18, I believe, if I have to guess.
And how was your feeling on the first day?
Horrible, horrible.
Share
In
with
fact,
us.
one of the one of the people in the chat box commented. They said, "This is your first live stream, isn't it?" I said, "Yes." Is it that obvious?
Okay. All right. So, as a professional teacher, Teacher Jeff, now very serious question. How do you define professionalism being a teacher on Hallo or outside of the Hallo?
How do I define professionalism?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Um, the way that you carry yourself, the way that you dress, um, your knowledge, like I said, patience, compassion. I think those are all professional ways to teach and to act professionally.
Mm-hmm. That's great. You have already described your strengths as a teacher. Now, we'd like to know, do you have any weakness being a teacher?
Sure. I mean, I think everyone has weaknesses because we would not be human if we did not have weaknesses, right?
Great answer, Teacher Jeff.
um, I have, you know, I have many weaknesses, but I think that I may not be the best, to be honest. I'm probably not the best English teacher, but I believe my compassion and my just really wanting to help people overcomes those weaknesses, in my opinion.
Okay. There is a question from Hello. What's the difference between the American English and British English? We are coming back to your question in a moment. Let me ask a few other questions to Teacher Jeff in the meantime. Okay, so when it's a matter of teaching your students, how do you confirm that your lessons has been understood by your learners?
I ask many questions. I also have for the live class, I'm doing some live classes on holidays in America right now, and I ask many questions. And I also have a quiz at the end of each class that I send them, and then the next one we go over it to make sure that they understand. I ask them to repeat the pronunciation several times, so I'm sure that they're saying it correctly, things of that nature.
Okay, so at the moment, how many lessons have you scheduled for your students?
I have only given 4 live classes so far, and I've probably had 7 or 8 live streams. But like I said, it's only been a couple months.
Okay, no worries. It will take time to get your students and audience.
Right. And
Okay.
I have taught children. I've taught for that other company. I've taught probably 1,500 classes.
Okay, that's
Still,
great. Mm-hmm. Okay, so dear viewers, we're having conversation with the US Hello Teacher Jeff. If you have any questions to ask, please ask them in the commentary section. He's going to answer it definitely. Okay, this first question from Hello: what's the difference between the American English and the British English? Possibly we can demonstrate. I will say something in my in a pronunciation, and definitely you're going to say an American pronunciation. Well, how is that?
okay.
Okay, so please first focus and explain to the question that we're going to go with the examples. Teacher Jeff, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I thought you were. So are you going to say a word, or
We're
like
going.
I can think of a word? I can think of a word, Rahat. I know that I have some friends who are from England, and I say aluminum, and they say aluminium,
That's right. We
as spelled vitamin versus vitamin, garage versus garage, I believe.
garage,
But
yeah, that's right. Like
those are
zebra,
three
zeb,
words that I can think of that just said differently.
zebra crossing.
What?
Zebra.
Zebra.
You said
Zebra.
you said zebra. We said zebra. Similarly,
Yeah.
mobile.
Mobile.
Gas station. You said gas. We said petrol pump.
Petrol pump. Oh, okay. Interesting. I like
Okay.
that.
And then pavement.
Pavement.
Uh, Pavement, what you call sidewalk in the US.
Yes, true, true. But we do. I sometimes say the pavement.
Okay, hang on a second. Let me uh, report about one ID. And what are the other difference between the American English and British English, apart from the expression?
I'm not. Are you asking me or are you someone asking? Because I don't really. I'll be honest with you. I'm not sure because I don't really know the English, the British English. Where you probably know both because you're there.
That's right. I'm trying to understand different kinds of accent. Accent acquisition is really an amazing and challenging matter sometimes. As teacher Jeff, as that I was not born here, so I had to learn this language quite a different steps through different hard processes, which really made me aware the differentiations of British English, American English. Even in the UK, we've got more than 30 different kinds of accents, which are really amazing and so different, especially Scottish accent. Okay, I'm going to share with you one of the real life situation. Like the last week, I was traveling by the London Tube Railway, and there is a Scottish guy just next to me, and I was trying to touch the window, and he said, "Hey, mate, don't put your hands on the window." So, hey, mate, don't put your hands on the window. But
Oh,
in the Scottish accent, because there's a horn instead of hand, all the vowel A becomes O, and the W becomes I at the end. So the hands become horns, and window becomes windy. You see, so that's really amazing.
and where are
Okay.
you from? Where are you from originally, Rahat?
I was born in Bangladesh, a country called Bangladesh, the small country in Southeast Asian country surrounded by three of our borders is India, and another border is Myanmar, and
Ah,
another side is Bay of Bengal.
okay.
Okay, so that's why when I'm learning and when I listen to different accent, it really amuses me. All right, so teacher Jeff, and now let's move on a little bit further ahead. So he visited quite a few countries in a few languages. Now you have been teaching on Hello, and over the period of time, Hello has changed. If you are aware of not, and now Hello is still on the developmental phase, and we have got these recent new models of the live classes, group classes, and obviously private lessons. And people like to know about the teachers before they like to book you. So
Sure.
I'll suggest you can do as many lessons as possible. Sometimes it it doesn't necessarily to be a live class. Just make a public live stream and let them know who you are, what you are capable of. Okay, and definitely I'm sure you'll get a lot of students from there, possibly private lessons students.
I hope so. Yes,
Okay.
I have given live streams on idioms and homophones and different things. But yes, I enjoy it. It was very hard at first, especially just seeing people in the chat box and not having anyone respond.
Mhm.
But now I have some people on my live classes. I have 5 students, so I really enjoy it. The time goes by very quickly.
Okay, and there is something, let me answer it. Kidri says, I think all about pronunciation. No, it's not all about pronunciation. We have got also different spelling, teacher Jeff,
Right.
like color, O-U-R, all the O-U-R ending in the British English, it becomes O-R, like color, favor, flavor, endeavor, and
All you are.
yeah, all the OUR. This is how what happened when in this British people used to rule America in 14th century, if you know the history. And when Merriam-Webster first compiled the dictionary of American English, he just made it a bit easier for the Americans. And similarly, the spelling of all the ZE at the end, okay, whatever you've chosen ZE, like utilize, realize, formalize. That starts with S in the British English. Okay.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I just studied a little bit, and afterwards, some of the expression like we called lift, you called elevator, right?
Right, right. Yes, elevator.
Hey, Teacher Johnny,
Yep.
welcome.
Hey,
Uh,
hi.
Teacher Johnny, if you have time, please hop on for a few moments. That would be great. Another American teacher.
Riza's on here too somewhere.
Yeah, Teacher Risa is gone. Yeah,
Oh,
Warner. Yes, Teacher John, if you have time, please do hop on. I'll be happy to bring you as well. Okay, so that is the some of the things people are asking. And
great.
n- Nadu says American English is the best. But if you know the history, the British English was first developed over the 700 years. The Anglo and Saxon tribe that came from Germany, Bavaria, to start business and inhabitation in this country in 4th century, and it took 700 years. So in the 11th century, the first English university was established in the all over the world, and that is the Oxford University.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I always learn something. Okay, thank you very much, Teacher Johnny. Okay, I try to read the history, honestly, Teacher Jeff. That's really attracts me. Any kind of history, I go
Yeah.
for it deep and deeper.
Yeah.
Okay, so so these are the some of the difference, the answer of the question. So dear viewers, if you have any more questions, there is another amazing question. I'm going to read it for you. What are the tips for being a good speaker, Teacher Jeff?
Uh, Like yeah, I still say the best tips are just, practice saying the word, listening to the word from a native speaker, even if you look it up online and just hear the pronunciation and just repeat, repeat, repeat until it becomes second nature to say the word the way that a native speaker says it. I think that is the best way, and practice. When I first came back from China, I worked for a company where I had to uh, give presentations, and I was afraid to speak in public. So I joined I don't know if they have Toastmasters in England. They may not. But it is a club where you practice speaking, practice giving speeches. So practice, practice, practice is the best way to improve your speaking, I think.
That's right. Your thought is 100% correct. Thank you very much. Teacher Johnny, thank you very much. That's so sweet. And dear viewers, if you have any more questions, please do ask in the commentary section. Salvador, welcome. Let me see. Hello. And Rose says, IELTS is British. We have to listen to Cambridge. IELTS is partly British and partly IDP Australia, if you are aware or not, Rose. And it has been conducted and offered from 198 destinations globally. There is IELTS Cambridge, and British Council, and another IELTS is also IDP Australia. So both are joined together recently. It's quite a few years back. Okay, so let's move on, Teacher Jeff. Now I'm going to ask you some funny questions to make it a bit more
Oh, no.
interesting. Okay.
Right.
By the how much time have you got now, Teacher Jeff?
I can stay about 10 more minutes.
That's great. So we are going to finish in the next 10 minutes. Dear viewers, if you haven't followed and supported Teacher Jeff, it's high
Oh,
time to follow him, support him, and join his lessons, private lessons.
yeah.
Okay, and for your American accent, pronunciation, or anything else, he's there to help and support you. Just visit his account and sign up, or either the private lesson or the live class. Then I'm sure you'll be able to learn a lot of things.
Thank you.
Okay, so the first question is the Teacher Jeff. Say you'll be sent to an isolated place where there is no one except you.
Okay.
Okay, say it could be like an Amazon jungle or forest. Okay, or
Okay.
maybe a desert. Okay,
All right.
so you are given opportunity to take three things with you, only three things, except your trainers and clothes, whatever you have got, and maybe rucksack. Okay, which three things you like to take with you?
Oh, wow. Survival things or anything?
Survival, because you're going, they have to be there, say 6 months or maybe a year.
I, I would take some way to start a fire. I would take a knife. Hmm.
Knife,
Uh,
then
the knife, and I would take some. Well, I would take clean drinking water, and I would take bread if I could, because, like I said, bread is my favorite food.
but teacher Jeff, how long the water and bread is going to stay with you?
Yes, it's not going. So I would take the knife, the way to flames, and maybe some rope.
Okay, hello is saying take your wife, food and clothes.
Well, if I had a choice, I would definitely bring my wife for sure.
Don't you know take your wife in a risky situation, okay?
No.
All right, okay, that's a bit funny though. If you won today $1 million, what would you do?
Travel. Just travel. I would take my wife and and we would travel for sure. I love to travel, and she has traveled inside of the United States, but she has never been outside of the United States. So I would love to take her. I would love to go to everywhere. I would love to go to Africa, New Zealand, Australia, um, India. There's so many places that I have not been that I still want to go. So travel would definitely be the first thing I would do.
Great. So very often people say that when you travel, you find that you're learning new things.
Yes.
How much do you support?
How much do I believe that you learn new
Mm,
things?
yeah.
1,000%, 1,000%. Um, I think, and this is just my opinion, I think that children who live in America should be required to spend maybe a month or maybe a couple weeks in a third world country,
Hmm.
because then things like, "Oh, I didn't get that new $200 pair of shoes," or "my iPhone is not," so unimportant, so not important in the grand scheme of life. To me, I think I learned that money does not buy happiness. I used to believe that when I worked for the big corporation. I used to believe that money buys happiness, but it does not. You can be happy with very little or happy with a lot. I think that's the biggest lesson that I learned while traveling, is that happiness is an inside job, if that makes any sense.
Okay. And many a times, our learners think that there is no difference between the pronunciation and the accent. Would you like to focus on it, please?
No, no difference between the accent and the pronunciation. I'm not sure
Yeah.
what.
Many learners think that there is no difference between the accent and the pronunciation. If you can please highlight about these two, topics.
Wow, I'm not sure how to answer the difference between the pronunciation and the accent is where you are from. I don't think if you are pronouncing the word correctly, or the way that it was meant to be pronounced according to the dictionary and according to the phonetics of it, I think your accent is just it just sounds different, but I still think the pronunciation should be the same, if that makes sense.
That's right. So pronunciation is same, accent is a bit different. Like you've got American accent, whereas I haven't got any accent at all.
No, no, not at all.
All right.
That's
Okay.
true. We think we have accents, right? Everyone else says, I just think I sound the way that everybody here sounds, and it's not an accent. But to you, it is an accent.
Okay. So there is another question I forgot to ask you. Do you like watching movies?
I love watching movies. I love action. I love comedy.
Mm-hmm. And
Um,
who is your favorite actor in that case?
my favorite actor. Hmm. My favorite actor, I like Tom Hanks.
Okay. Houston, we have got a problem. Apollo
I like
13.
I like Robert De Niro. I like many actors and actresses. I just Meryl Streep.
Mm-hmm.
I love movies though. I watch a lot too many movies, Rahat. I become a to quote an idiom, I become a couch potato and I watch movies a lot sometimes.
Okay, so now here is the hypothetical question. If you are asked to choose a movie character, which movie character you would like to be?
A movie director?
Movie character, like an actor, like say Superman or
Oh,
Iron Man.
I would definitely like to be an action hero.
Please be specific. Which action hero is it? Uh, Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Um, sure, that would be great if I could do that. Yeah, I would like to play parts like the Terminator or maybe The Rock or Jason Statham or
Hmm.
action parts like that would be great.
Like
Probably
wait
something
here.
I aspire to, but I would never reach. Right.
W- Can you mimic any of the actor's voice for our viewers?
Oh man, I'll be back. I can't do
Wait
it.
here, I'll be back.
Right, right.
Okay, that's really cool. Okay. And also, do you like horror movies, like Stephen King's movies?
I I like horror movies that make you jump, but I don't like horror movies with blood. Every scene is just blood is. But I like to be scared where you boom, where you jump. I like that, but not blood.
That's right. And honestly, Teacher Jeff, I'm a blind fan of Stephen King, his books, and all the movies.
Books are
There is no blood, but these movies are interesting, like sci-fi.
yes,
And
yes.
one of the famous serial was shown in the UK television, and let me remember the name. It's Under the Dome. It ran 2 years, and it was on the best 5 movies in the 2 years. They made huge amount of money from the UK. That CBS, that the movie channels.
Which movie? Which Stephen King movie was it? Was it or was it Pet
Under
Sematary?
Under the Dome.
Under the Dome? Oh, I have to look that up. I have not seen that one.
That's really an amazing movie. That the theme was like that. One day, I believe that I forgot the name of the country, the town. They found a dome came from nowhere. It covered the whole city, and they couldn't get out. Okay, and now
So it's not a movie. It is a series, a TV series.
it is a TV series. It was a
Oh,
book basically. Then later it was made into the TV series, like maybe
okay.
season one, two, three
Oh,
seasons.
okay. I will look for it.
Okay, yeah, Under the Dome. That's right, Rose. And it's really an amazing series. I liked it ever. And also recently I saw another from Netflix, The Mist.
Yes, yes, I've heard of The Mist.
That
I
that is really amazing. I liked it, and I couldn't finish the whole series in one sitting in my drawing room. I spent the whole night. By the next day, it was a weekend, so I slept during the day.
I think my favorite all-time series is Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And which character do you like of the Breaking Bad?
Walter White and Jesse Pinkman, the two main characters. I enjoyed that. I also liked. It's a little gory. It does have a little blood. Dexter.
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 Okay, Dexter. I haven't seen it yet. Okay,
Oh, it's good. It's intense, Rahat. It's very
I'll
intense.
I like to watch it. Definitely, Teacher Jeff, and I'll let you know how I
Yeah. See,
enjoyed.
Angela says Breaking Bad was good. Did you watch Breaking Bad, Rahat?
No, I,
Uh,
I I did watch Breaking Bad. Yeah, it was a good movie. Yeah, thanks, Angela. Rose says Reem Under the Dome. Hello, Reem. Welcome. So welcome all the lovely people. We're having conversation with the US Hallo Teacher Jeff. I think that he doesn't have much time. Maybe a couple of minutes more.
yeah,
If
sure.
you
I'll stay another 5 minutes. If anyone has any questions, I would be welcome to answer them. So
That's great. So please follow and support him if you haven't followed him yet. He's an amazing teacher from Florida,
Yeah.
and definitely will be learning a lot of things from him. So it's very easy. Just visit his account and sign up either a private lesson or a live class with 10 US dollars. And I share this information, when I go to central London, Teacher Jeff, and Cambridge, there are hundreds of English learning schools. And you know what? They are very expensive. 60 hours, 15 hours every week for 4 weeks, 60 hours. They charge 1,000 US dollar for every month.
Wow.
So if you
Wow.
compare that money with the Hello $10, nothing.
Yes, $1.25 for an hour. I think it's a great deal. I think it's wonderful.
Okay, so dear viewers, please subscribe to your favorite teacher and join them. That will be my suggestion. Okay, so if you have any more questions or comments about English learning or American English, Teacher Jeff is here and he's going to help you.
Yeah.
And I was going to say some words in British and maybe you can say in American. Okay, expression like
Okay.
Harry Potter,
Harry Potter.
Peter Parker.
Peter Parker.
All right, may I have a bottle of water, please?
Wa- Water. Make me want to say it like that. Water. Water.
Yeah, like the Cockney expression, blimey, man, are you after the ball? So this is another amazing expression. And the northern part of England in Liverpool, we call it Scouse accent, and they have always the vowel sound O. Like we say money, there's a money. We say cup, there's a cup. Yes. So when I went to visit in a holiday, and the first day I heard this in a conversation, hey mate, you took my money this morning. You didn't return me. I'm having difficulties. All that intonation is upper intonation, whatever they're saying. And
Yes.
and I learned two words, which is very amazing. One is ta, means thank you, ta. Another is tata, means goodbye.
Oh,
Tata,
Tata.
yeah, tata, goodbye, and ta. I said, what is that ta stand for? This is said it's thank you. So they've got some of the words of their own. Even we need to know before we respond to them.
Yes. Yeah. The only I would try to see how many languages I can say thank you. I can say thank you in gracias in Spanish, thank you in American, shi in Chinese. I can't think of other ways to say
Arigato gozaimasu.
oh, merci beaucoup.
Mm-hmm.
But
Danke German.
yeah,
Mexico is German, France, yeah.
yeah.
Then mucho gracias, you said already. Arigato gozaimasu, Japanese.
Oh, Japanese. Okay.
Yeah, dhanyabad in Bengali, Hindi, and Urdu.
Yeah,
Dhan,
I would love to learn more languages. I would love to travel and more like in Thailand. It was if you were to say hello to a boy, it is sawati krop. If you were to say hello to a girl, it's sawati ka. So very different. Just like male and female for the Spanish, and it's definitely in Spanish and the other languages with the male and female. So
mhm,
la la. So
that's right. And in pure Bengali, ধন্যবাদ আমাদের অনুষ্ঠানে আপনাদের আসার জন্য অসংখ্য ধন্যবাদ. Thanks for coming to our live stream.
thank you for having me. Yeah,
Okay.
I do have to go, Rahat, but thank you so much. This was so much fun. I really enjoyed it.
When you have time, I very often invite other teachers as well. You can always come and join me. This is another way to passive marketing as a teacher, so that other people, other learners can know about you.
Yeah, yes. That'd be great. I referred somebody and now oh my gosh, I cannot remember her last. Jennifer is her name. If I hope you get a chance to have her on. She's a great teacher from Canada. And I'm trying to think of Jen's last name. It's embarrassing that I forgot, but she's an amazing teacher. She just started with Hallo. Her name is Jen. So yeah.
All right. Okay. If you just let her know,
I
I'm going to message her, so that I can invite her as well.
All right. Well, thank you again so much, Rod. I really appreciate you having me on. I enjoyed it thoroughly. And hello to everyone and goodbye to everyone. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Teacher Jeff, for coming here as well.
Take care. Bye.
Bye. Okay, dear viewers, that would be the end of the live stream very soon. Thanks, Teacher Jay, for your time and coming here. And I'm very happy to see many new people today, as usual. Thank you very much for the viewers. You are amazing. And without your presence, my live stream is never ever successful. I'm so grateful to you for your presence and for your comments, and also all the lovely people. Um, Follow me, support me, and support all the Hello teachers. We are a big family of Hello. Remember that there has been some spammers making the fake IDs accounts with different teachers and students. If you ever notice them, just report it and block it. Okay. When a report has been made, only in that case an admin or the Hello IT people can check and ban the account. It is all of our responsibility to make the Hello as a suitable and comfortable environment here for practicing English. And people who do not know me, once again, I'm Rahat Ali. I live in England. I was born in Bangladesh. So Bengali is my first language or mother tongue. English is my second language. I can speak in Hindi, Urdu, Arabic, and German, 6 languages. Okay. And thank you very much for joining once again. Hope to see you soon. Take care and bye.